There's no shortage of leadership material at the Cardiff Blues these days. Alongside last year's Lions captain is one of his first international skippers.
You're one of them. Well, Ryan Jones was the first in the summer, and then you took over then, didn't you? Yeah. Nice grin on his face. I agree with Smiler. Like, people would say, oh, you know, look at this guy, look at that guy, and whatever. But I think you should just be your own person and don't. It's the same as when you mould yourself on a certain player. I wouldn't look at a player and say I want to be like him. You're your own person, you know.
Yeah, I remember when I first took over captaincy at the Scarlets, I had to sit down with Simon Easterby and just sort of pick his brains in terms of being a captain and what a captain's all about. And for me, it's making sure you lead from the front.
Supreme fitness is no guarantee of protection against life-threatening illness, and Rees was unprepared for the ultimate test of character he faced last October when he was diagnosed with testicular cancer.
Called in a meeting in training, and they said he had to undergo surgery, but they were very careful to stay away from the C word, so the C word wasn't really mentioned in training. So we left that meeting, we're like, does that mean has he got cancer? Or so we weren't really sure how serious it was. Then we found out another few weeks later that he was diagnosed with cancer, and then he was undergoing treatment straight away, really. Then he was coming back into training then, you know, pretty soon after. So we'd be in the gym, and he was there. He refused to sort of let it get the better of him. And I've seen family members go through chemotherapy, and it's knocked him for 6. And to see Matthew, you know, still come back into training, you can see he was extremely motivated to overcome it. So yeah, that was pretty inspiring to see.
I've always been quite a positive person, and I believe you sort of make your own luck. And for me, I was always wanting to get back before the end of the season, and that was my goal. And it was a tough sort of 6 straight months, and being a keen rugby player as I am, I just wanted to make sure I got back. The sort of support I had from Cardiff Blues, through the WRU, through the rugby world was amazing, and that really inspired me on.
Obviously, you know, it was 2 pretty severe illnesses or injuries have occurred in the last sort of 24 months, really. The support, not just from players, but from fans and the management and the staff, has been completely overwhelming. There's always the hashtag, you know, Blues Family on Twitter, and that's not just, you know, a cliche. You know, it is true. I think even Mark Hammett, when he came in, he said to the other staff, you know, that you could tell that we were a close bunch of boys, and it has got that feel this year. You know, we are very close, and you know, things like that, those experiences that you go through, it's obviously worse for the player, but it does put rugby into perspective, and but it has definitely brought the squad closer together.
We're quite fortunate as rugby people to have that support in tough times. As much as you've got your family and friends, but you know, as a rugby network, I think it was overwhelming really to have that support, and you know, we still all have a bit of banter against each other, and that's what keeps you real.
Pardon? I didn't know that.
You had some last time.
Cheese for my birthday.
Remember, I made them last year.
Did you?
I brought them in, yeah. I kept you one.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh no,
I didn't pay him, but.
Oh.
Just 32 weeks after his diagnosis and surgery, Rees returned to international rugby.
I remember his first running session. I remember he came in, he was doing some running up and down the touchline, and he obviously wasn't doing much because his body wouldn't let him, but then he picked it up so quickly, and you know, he is a real tough guy, and he battled through it, and then to be able to actually, when you heard he'd be having a conversation, he's like, oh, I'm expected to be playing in a few weeks' time. You know, it completely took everyone by surprise. You thought, you know, when you heard about the news to start the season, that was a write-off. You know, the season's gone, just put a line under it, move on to next year. But you know, that obviously wasn't enough for him, and he got back at the end of the season, which was absolutely miraculous.
I was just glad to get back playing the game, and whatever capacity I would be, it would be, and didn't even think of obviously playing for Wales towards the end of the summer tour. I look back and think, Christ, I mean, fair play. I've impressed myself. I think I worked so hard, a diagnosis, and then going through that sort of treatment for 3 months, and then just getting back playing. I just love the game. It was just such a good feeling to know that I'd crossed that line again to get back playing with the game I love.